extraordinary. We are going to offer you a 3-piece fancy fountain grass collection. Free shipping and handling on everything during this hour, so that continues. If you're joining us for the first time, the Robertas, hard to find, easy to grow. These are not the things that you go to the big box store for. These are not the things that you find at your garden center. Sure, do they have fountain grass? But the collection that our experts have put together for you, one of the most popular plants in all of the garden season is what we're going to talk about. And it's good for 3 seasons. $23.16. One shipping and handling on these, and 61774. Beautiful.
I love them.
Just beautiful, Devin. And the selections that you brought us are just so gorgeous.
They're
wow,
so striking. And when we get back onto the stage, I had us put out a fan here to kind of show what these fountain grasses will look like in your garden with the wind kind of breezing them, making them flutter back and forth in your garden. And in my opinion, seeing the movement of the fountain grasses in your garden is one of the most soothing, calming appearances that you can have in a garden, and that's one of the reasons why they've become one of the hottest plants in garden trends right now.
And the colors and the types of fountain grasses that you chose for us are really beautiful. So whether they have the, kind of the sandy blooms on them, or just the vegetation, they're beautiful.
Absolutely. These fountain grasses, they bring you 3 seasons of interest. They start to produce this beautiful fountain of foliage.
Yeah, look at that.
In about May. You see this? It's wonderful, beautiful texture that goes in every single garden. So it starts to produce this beautiful fountain of foliage in the summertime. And then in the autumn, it starts to create these gorgeous plumes. These are actually flower plumes. And then in the autumn and winter, they'll start to change color and look gorgeous. And fountain grasses, they are considered one of the 3 pillars of the autumn garden. So not only do they provide interest all summer long, but then they bring on a real show in the fall and the winter as well.
Yeah, definitely, when a lot of other things are sort of dead. Take a look again at these images. Would you talk us through these,
I would love
Devin?
to.
And you're welcome to order multiples in this.
This is a plant that I would absolutely get a few of these, get a few collections and plant them all around the garden. You're getting 3 different varieties. This is the first one. It's called Hamlin. Look at these gorgeous, fluffy, sandy plumes. Imagine these gently swaying, imagine those plumes gently swaying in the wind above that fountain of lush green foliage. I love them as a hedge. They can act like a gorgeous shrub in the garden, or you can plant them right in containers. I had the Hamlin planted in a container on my balcony in Seattle, and it was beautiful because as everything else was kind of finishing off, this still looked gorgeous, and in fact it started to become even more beautiful. And then this next image,
look how pretty that is.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah,
this is called rubrum, and it's one of the most desired fountain grasses because it has that deep purple foliage with the sandy flower plumes that will eventually turn into this gorgeous rosy purple color. And
even the vegetation in that is that color.
Wonderfully colorful. Look at that as a focal point in your garden. Now, fountain grasses, I love them as well because this is so easy. This is like easy gardening 101. If you want something,
place to start.
Yes, and that is why they deserve a place in every garden. Imagine having them in a container like that right next to your balcony or on your patio. Yeah. They look gorgeous.
Or next to your pool, or if you have a pond, or wherever you put them.
Yes, they will bring such a showcase.
Show-offs.
They are show-offs. That's a wonderful.
Nice
they are show-offs, and this is
they're tough.
Yeah, and this is the fireworks. This is the most prized of all fountain grasses because it has this gorgeous. It's like 4 different colors in that foliage. Later I'll show you guys a close-up exactly how beautiful the foliage is. And so it has that variegated look. Look at that fountain of foliage and plumes in your garden. It is absolutely astounding.
So the beautiful thing I think about these is they're scrappy.
Yeah.
Hot, dry,
Yes.
They don't need good
soil. Sandy soil,
They don't need a lot
soil,
of attention.
Anything.
Oh, perfect.
And they do really well to turn your yard into a garden, like we were saying earlier. This is a plant that will help accentuate all of the other plants in your garden. So look at this gorgeous look. It is such an easy garden to create with these fountain grasses because they bring so much interest, but they're such a cinch to
You know
grow.
what's really cool with these two? I told the story earlier. My granddogs love to run around in my backyard, and we have this whole area around our pool that is done with the fountain grasses, and it's almost like they're in the jungle, and they just love, and they trample all over.
No, I know.
Unfortunately, they're hardy and they come back.
That's a
The
great
other
point.
cool thing, and since you're giving craft ideas, at the end of the season, if they're in a container, if you pull them all up with a raffia and tie it, it creates a really cool
How
like
fun.
harvest look. So instead of actually going and buying corn stalks, you just tie them up in a couple of places, and they create a really cool in a,
That is so
in a
fun.
container.
I hadn't done that before.
If you keep them in the containers, it looks really cool.
That is sweet.
All right,
Love,
that's
love,
my
love.
2 cents.
Thank you, love.
Thanks.
Now again, remember, these things don't ship out until it's time to put them in the ground wherever you live. You will also get a great growing guide, and that will let you know. So I said they're sort of scrappers. What are we talking about? Sunwise, ground-wise?
Yeah. So how about I show you guys exactly how easy they are to plant. And so this is one of your 3, this is the Hamlin right here, one of your 3 fountain grasses that you'll be receiving in the mail. And this baby, it's beautiful. It has a gorgeous root system. And I'm just gonna plant it right in this container. So I watered my container. I put some water in the container first. Then I dig a little hole. I just kind of nestle it in there just like this.
Can it be container or ground?
Absolutely, the ground is perfect. These can handle rocky soils, poor soils, hot sun, any kind of container conditions like that. You water it in nicely, and just to remind you guys, they love the full sun.
Your emojis.
And our little plant emojis, and about a half day of water. Couldn't be easier. And then this is gonna grow into something that is about this size within just a couple months.
I was going to say in the first year.
They're very fast growers, and just look at this beautiful texture.
What do we do at the end of the year?
Well, at the end of the season, what I would do, I'd cut them back to the ground, and then they'll have a winter rest, just like we all need. We all need to hibernate in the wintertime, and then in the springtime, they'll pop back up.
They come right back up. And you better put them where you want to keep them because they have really deep roots. Trust me on that one.
Wonderful,
you get
sturdy
3
growers.
pieces. Many of you are ordering more than 1 set, which is a really smart thing to do. Free shipping and handling, M61774. All right. I love it.
Not bad.